Hello, Awake TV family. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are all staying home, staying safe, staying happy, healthy, and making the best use of this time that you can. We are all very much trapped in our homes. However, we have the gift of time to do things that we have not had the time to do before. So I am deeply honored that you take this time to be with me today, to just sit in this space with me. Just by coming together in this way, we heal. We are joining our collective energies together every single time we come together. For this show, for any of the other shows on Awake TV, you are adding your collective power in a way that is healing for the entire world. So thank you so much for joining me. I am very excited for today's episode. And as always, and I always forget to introduce myself, my name is Chris Alicia. I am the host of Intentionality, Unraveling the Divine Secrets of the Universe. What this show is about is proving that spirituality is real. It is using science, mathematics, music to show that the universe itself was divinely created. It was divinely created to give us a place to grow and evolve as souls. And better yet, there are clues everywhere you look, in ancient texts, in the beautiful buildings, in the music that you listen to, in the very frequencies of the planet. There are steps that were left behind for us to find a way to communicate with the world, to remember the divine pattern, to see the blueprint, and then remember our own divinity. So this show is all about reminding you of your own divinity. So you can look around the world and see it with new eyes and really embrace the joy and the love that is being human at this time. So before I begin, thank you guys again for joining me. Awake TV is all in its second season right now. All the teachers have moved into their second season. We've added some wonderful new shows. So I hope you're taking all of this extra time and really just checking them out. There's going to be a lot of people that resonate with you that you hadn't thought of before. Even if you just watch a couple minutes of their show to see if it fits, if their words, if their message resonate with you, I guarantee there's going to be healing and activating in that act alone. So all the shows are free to watch live. They're free for 24 hours after. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain by spending your time focusing on spirituality, focusing on your growth, learning to release your ego, learning to open your heart, make better relationships, ways to decide how to move forward. This is very much like our death and rebirth that they talk about in priestess and shaman training. This is the great death and rebirth, not just for the planet, but for us as well. Who we are when we come out of these quarantine times is not necessarily who we are or were when we went in. And I know for one, I've been taking a lot of time to meditate several times a day, to really go deep into the messages that I want to share, putting together classes to share. It has been a time of tremendous growth, and I can feel it. I can hear the messages of my guides more clearly, and what they're saying, what all the light workers that I've been hearing, what all the teachers on Awake TV have been saying, is that this is a time of great, massive movement forward for the planet, for humanity, for all of us, for us as individuals and us as a collective. So every time you add your voice, every time you add your heart to one of these shows, to a class online, to a group on Facebook, every time you add your loving presence, it makes a difference. And I've been talking to many different people online about what's going on in the current environment. And they pointed out something that I really wanted to mention to you. What does the world look like when everybody's off the streets? If all the law-abiding citizens are told to stay off the streets, to stay home. Who's left on the streets? Criminals? People who are willing to break the law? Think of turning over a rock for the first time in centuries. What is it we're going to find when all of a sudden everybody is forced to stay home and minimize their exposure to the world? What are we going to uncover? It's been suggested by my guides, as well as several of the other people online, that this is a time of great purging. That when all of the light workers, everybody goes into a more meditative state, almost a cocoon, if you will. The world that does not want to ascend, the world that likes the negative energies, the dark parts of this world that have been hiding for so long, working in the background, controlling everything, they now have nobody else to hide behind. Where before they were a needle in a haystack, now they're the elephant in the room. So when we are forced to go into our homes and stay quiet, what happens to all the crime that's going on? What happens to all the bad things that are going on? What happens to all the puppet masters out there that are controlling the governments? Can't control things without people. So it's going to be a very interesting time of purging for the world. So continue to think on the bigger picture of this. I know how hard it is to let go of fear. And that was what last week's entire show was on, was step 5 of the Ascension process, is when you finally embrace your divinity. And when you embrace your divinity, you let go of a lot of the fears that we hold on to on a regular basis. You let go of fear of death, because you know you're immortal. You know you'll be reborn. You let go of fear of sickness, because you see the opportunities, the lessons that come from being sick. You see the purpose behind the sickness. You let go of your fear of judgment. Why would you judge anybody? Why would it matter if somebody judged you? Your soul is pure and perfect. This is the phase that we're moving through as a planet. And if you look at this quarantine period, this is very much like the bridge between the lower energies and the upper energies. The lower energies being the ego, emotions that are unfounded, holding on to old hurts and pains, the material world, ambition, greed. The bridge is the heart center. It's when people start thinking with their heart and not with their head. They stop talking about what they need, when, quite frankly, most of us don't know ourselves that well. Instead of thinking about what you need, you focus on what you have. You focus on the gratitude and the joy of what you have. That's where we are right now. You're being asked to go inside for the first time in, well, written history. Go inside, be quiet. Focus on your heart. Connect with people on a heart level for the first time ever. And once we go through this bridge, we will be in step 5 of truth, our divine truth. We have the opportunity to come out of this recognizing our divinity. So I know this is a very long introduction compared to what I normally do, but my heartfelt plea is for people to get out there, to join spiritual classes, spiritual groups, whatever you can do. Even if you consider yourself a solo practitioner and you just like to read books and watch videos, do whatever you need to do to go into your heart space. Every time you feel lonely, think of those images in Italy of people singing to each other from their balconies. In Virginia, we have people setting up their Christmas lights as a way just to make the world a little bit more beautiful, since they can't interact with people. My sister told me that they have a teddy bear hunt up in Maryland, which is where people put teddy bears in their windows. So as families are walking their dogs or walking their children to give them some exercise outside, they can look in the windows and see who's got a teddy bear in there, and they log them. This is a time for us to creatively connect with each other instead of superficially connect with each other. You're not going to walk by 1,000, 10,000 people a day that you don't remember. You're going to remember the people you see now. You're going to understand how important those connections are, but you're also going to learn that those connections don't have to be face to face like this. It doesn't have to be everybody in the same room. You can connect over distance, over time with your heart. So embrace this time. Join in Awake TV. They're doing global meditations every Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific. And the energy that comes off of people from around the globe coming together at the same time on the same day with the same message is potent. Be a part of that. Embrace that love and that light, and I guarantee it will change your world. It can't not. Because when you open your heart to love, there is no room in your heart for anything else. So that's my soapbox for today. Join in, get involved. This is the time of Lightworkers. If you are watching this, if you hear that term and it even gives you a little bit of a chill, you are a Lightworker. You're all Lightworkers. It's our time. It's our time to hold space for the collective, to open our hearts for the collective. And I swore that my soapbox was over, but I'm a giant liar, apparently. This is our time to stand up in our power. And this season has been all about that. To stand up in our power, we have to release a lot of the training that we have been given. We have to release a lot of the baggage that we have just held on to and really become something new. The great death and the rebirth.